Okay, so we need to talk to Master Roshi. I'm a martial arts master. I can teach you the two-handed smash technique. Hold down the A button, blah, blah, blah. Here you go. Now you can bash people over the head with your hands, Vegeta. Hit them with that hammer fist. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to more, Dragon Ball Z Legacy of Goku 2. Last time, we defeated Android 19 and Android 20. Part 1 of that. It took us several attempts to beat Dr. Gero. I believe it was like close to 10. And I went ahead and just edited that down. It took a while, so we need to grind badly. Did not mean to pick that up, but okay. I'm thinking we get all of our guys up to around 25, just like right here in the nearby area. So this is the part I was thinking of with Dr. Gero. We need to be 25 to pass through here. Okay. So the clear grind right now is Gohan, because that's what we need to actually do. So let's do that. Oh, they don't respawn. Well, that's unfortunate. I was kind of banking on that. Okay, no. Ki Blast are honestly probably the best thing to use. Except you can't use them on Gero, so... I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go for levels and save every time until we get to 25. We're also gonna just save now, because that would be no fun to die right there. That should be fine. We should get this level up here in a second, so. We're close. I have a feeling we're gonna get it after we kill all the enemies on this screen. Oh, there was another snake. We just need to play cautious right now. We're in a grind session, so... I actually already recorded Pokemon for this week, and I gotta tell ya, that series is ramping up in its intensity very quickly. I don't want to say what's happened as of this recording session, because this actually comes out before Friday's episode, but if you watched yesterday, you'll know that we decided to go to Koga's gym. And the gym battles are tougher than I remember. Let's just say that. Like, in terms of levels, obviously. Because they're random, like, I could be fine, but I'm not, because I don't know what to prepare for. Let's just say that. But you'll also know that I've been kind of careless recently, and I don't want to be overprotective in the series, because if I am, well, then it makes it almost too easy, which is why we introduced the level cap and things like that, so. Although on a game like this, we're not doing a level cap, just FYI, like, if the game gets too easy with a specific character, then yeah, that's one thing, but we're gonna grind Gohan, get him up to 25. I'm actually not even... I guess we could go train at the Warlord's place for Piccolo to get him up some levels, or we could always just rely on key attacks, which I'll probably end up doing. keeping our distance is fine because as long as we don't get hit, they'll only drop ki. So and Gohan's actually leveling up rather quickly, so it shouldn't be too bad to just grind right here. I don't think. I'm just trying to think about stuff to talk about. My eyes are actually pretty watery right now for some reason. I'm gonna actually open up a drink and drink something. Like, I have Pepsi that I'm staring at right now, and I'm like, that sounds really good. I've actually been doing a lot more walking recently with the coronavirus outbreak going on right now. I used to walk to the Dollar General by my house every day, and I stopped doing that, but I've been doing it a lot more recently, like, not every day, but I think I'm going to start doing it because it's like a good mile or so, longer than that, just to get there, and then on the way back. So there's actually a come and go down the street that's a little further if I go the opposite direction. I might walk that path instead. The only difference is there's more sidewalks to get to the Dollar General, and I don't really want to be walking out in the middle of the street because I don't want to be a nuisance to people who are driving. But I think they actually made it like a mandatory shutdown that you don't go anywhere if you don't have to, which is why I'm going to places like Dollar General or whatever, because I'm buying stuff that I guess would be considered essential, because I went to, instead of taking my car, I just walked there and I got a couple things for the house. Like, I bought like a box of rice and some other stuff, and then I picked up a drink, which I was meaning to drink earlier when it was still cold, but I guess I can put it in the mini fridge for like 20 or 30 minutes and it'll be fine, but I guess I just wasn't thinking about it. Okay, you're making this way more difficult than it needs to be. Just shoot them. Is Gohan about to hit 22? I think he's about to hit 22 or 23. Let's break open this rock. Okay, that's fine. I should get the level up, I think, like right here. So. Yeah, 22. Okay. That's fine. These guys are getting a little weak compared to Gohan, so... Those charge attacks are a little harder to get off than I'd like. I'm actually playing this on a 360 controller with its D-pad, so sometimes it feels like I'm pressing like left, but I'm going up because the D-pad is a little more rounded than it is the actual just buttons. Like, it's a circle with the D-pad raised up on it, so sometimes I'm clicking that little section like right there and it's messing with the movements a bit. It's not as noticeable in like Pokemon just because you can only move in the 4 cardinal directions in that game. It's not a full 3D experience, whereas this one feels more like it is. Let's just mow these guys down. You will never survive my energy blast volley. I'm Gohan, too powerful for you. We're about to hit the 10-minute mark. The grinds are real, ladies and gentlemen. I'm trying to think of just like a story I could tell. I already talked about how I became introduced to Dragon Ball Z. I guess I could talk about like my favorite moment in the series. Personally, my favorite moment in Dragon Ball is really tough to pick, just because of like how many moments actually stand out. But the one that I always think of, like that comes to mind immediately, is when Frieza shows up on Earth and future Trunks makes his first appearance. Like, I still remember, like, a long time ago, there was, on the Dragon Ball Z VHS that I had, back when those were a thing, it was advertising that Trunks was coming. And, like, it's just this commercial with, like, all these sword slashes at the screen. And I was like, okay, like, where I was at in the series, like, Trunks hadn't shown up yet for me. So that was, like, almost like an exclusive look at Trunks for me, even though, like, he'd been around. But I hadn't seen, like, his very first moment in the series. So when I saw him kill Frieza, like, effortlessly, I was like, okay, this guy's a beast, he's here, and, like, I immediately, like, became enamored with Trunks. Like, I thought his story was super interesting. Even as a kid, I was like, wow, he's from the future, that's cool. And, like, I was like, these characters are strong enough to kill, like, Vegeta and Piccolo, and I was like, things are gonna get rough, and they did. The Android and Cell arc is one of my favorites for a reason. I think it's because so many characters get time on screen. Like, whereas in the Namek saga, and I guess the early parts of the Frieza saga, it was mostly like Gohan, Krillin, and Vegeta, and then Piccolo, obviously. And then, of course, Goku shows up, but in, like, the Android / Cell and, like, saga, like, Tien gets moments, Piccolo gets a lot, Trunks is a big player, Gohan is. Goku's largely absent that entire arc, and I actually really like that, just because it gives us more time to focus on other characters, because come Buu Saga, it's mostly just the Saiyans, and that's it. I remember Krillin, like, fighting Cell at an airport at one point, and I remember the amazing moment that was Piccolo and Kami fusing and just making Piccolo the strongest, even for just a brief, like, period of time. That was legit to me. And I really liked Tien just coming out of nowhere and holding back Imperfect Cell, even though it nearly killed him. I was like, these moments are awesome, and I think that it's, like, very few and far between in the entire series that characters get those moments these days. Super was a little bit better about that, but the Buu Saga was not. And then, of course, you had GT, which mostly focused on Goku and Pan and Trunks, which, it is what it is. I would have liked for more characters to get time. Some arcs they do, but only for, like, those specific arcs. Like, you know it's bad when, like, Gohan feels like tertiary character in Dragon Ball. Same with, like, Piccolo, and even at times Vegeta feels that way. I think, honestly, I would have liked GT more if it was focused on, like, Goten and Trunks with Goku over Pan, because we could have seen older Goten and Trunks, which would have been interesting. But I digress. I don't even really know what I'm talking about at this point. Like, I'm just kind of rambling to fill time, I guess, because I don't want to just grind off screen and be like, yeah, I grinded. But I might do that in the future, is just cut grinding sessions out or speed them up at the beginning of episodes where we want to actually progress, just so that you know, you guys see that we did it. But it's not the same as in like Pokemon, because if I were grinding in Pokemon, and I did it off screen, you guys would, not saying that I would do this, but like nobody would be able to tell if a Pokemon fainted, and it would actually impact the series. Whereas here, I can die like 30 or 40 times and it won't matter. Last episode springs to mind on that. Freaking Dr. Giro. That's level 25. So, we're going to go back and save. We're going to punch this door open. Is it just a golden cap? No, there's enemies in here. Okay. I'm going to go back and switch to Piccolo, and grind until about 20 minutes, and we'll see where we are at that point. I predicted him. We're level 19. Okay. I believe that's golden capsule number 9. Can we go up here? Oh, okay. I'm actually not sure which way I should be going. Oh, there's another one. Okay. I think I'm just going to grind in that same section that I was in. Just so that there's no surprises or anything. Because I just remembered Jiro is just like roaming in this area, so we should be careful of him. We don't want to bump into him and lose any sort of progress that we've made. Otherwise, the grind session is for like nothing. Even though I just saved not too long ago, like a minute ago. And I am basically every time I go back to each section, because why would you risk that? It doesn't make sense to get too cocky, so I'll save. I think I can get the level up with just energy attacks here. No. Okay, back off. I'd like to get a big ball of energy, please. Just come down here, I guess. Okay, that's some. That's a decent enough amount of health, I'm not worried. Okay. I think the bears, or no, not the bears, the boars are actually easier to deal with than the snakes. They're also a little bit bigger on the hitbox, so that helps. I would actually love to see another game like this get made. That would be really cool to me. I know that like Dragon Ball Z Kakarot came out and it feels like that, but I want this top-down perspective, even just like a remaster of these games with like the Boo's Fury mechanics, with like the blocking and pick up items and stuff that just goes through the whole story. Like and when I say whole story, I mean you're going through the beginning of Dragon Ball all the way to the end of Super. Or maybe just the end of Z. We don't want to ask for too much. At some point we're going to get a game, I think, that won't do that, though. I really do. I think at some point you're going to get a story-based game that just goes from Dragon Ball all the way to the end of Super. And that would be pretty legit. That's level 21. Okay. And we just hit 20 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and end it here. I think that's probably enough to realistically handle this section. Let's look at our guys. Gohan is at level 25. Good for him. Piccolo is at level 21. And Vegeta is at 22. I'm probably going to stick with Piccolo and Vegeta for the next couple episodes since Gohan just hit level 25. And we'll see where we are from there. I think when we unlock Trunks, he starts at like 27 or 28. But that's it for this week's episodes, guys. We accomplished enough in the last episode to consider it progress, and then we hit a grinding session this one, which isn't bad. But I'll catch you guys later. I hope you all are having a fantastic day.